Come up yet? Is that working? What's happening here? We're getting latency again, the delay thing, what's happening? Totally am. Have I got slapped back again, just like I had before? Come on, YouTube and OBS, get your stuff together. Huh. Does it come right? Seems to have. Woo! How's everybody doing? If anyone knows a good streaming software, let me know, because I'm using OBS and I find this program just the most frustrating thing in the world. Sometimes it works, you have to log in sometimes, and then other times you don't. It's like, come on, people. I'm just kind of mucking around with some things, so hopefully you're hearing everything without that echo that I was getting before, which was... I bought a new HDMI capture card today, because I was using this one, which cost me about $30. It's just HDMI on one side and USB on the other. But I was getting a bit of latency, and I'm still getting latency. I bought an Elgato Cam Link 4K, because it was like about 5 times the price, supposed to be the one. And yeah, so hopefully you hear, let me know in the chat, people, let me know. Are you hearing everything okay? Because there was major echo before. So I've got the Fractal AM4 here, hopefully you can see it. It's just sitting on my sound card. I've only got a short cable. Can someone let me know? You hearing everything? Because I've done these before and not had it right, and it sucks. Let's go to that sound there. Oh, there is a delay in there. I think that would sound better in stereo. Why don't I do stereo? Yeah, that's the blues stereo BBD, so Blues Bucket Brigade. Oh great, you can hear everything. Excellent. Cheers, Ridley. That's Ridley Sheehan, folks, my student, who's a gun guitar player. So if you haven't gone and checked out his channel, please do, because Ridley's the future of guitar, if you ask me. Like the young cats like him and James Tilley. And there's a bunch. I got some really good students. I'm super lucky. So yeah, go and support them. So that's the Stereo Bucket Brigade. I think I prefer that. And the reverb is the whole Opera House. I think I would prefer that ultra high. Let's go ultra high. This is my Ibanez AR520. Many of you will have seen this guitar before. I'm actually going to take this up to Auckland. I'm going to Auckland next month to do some shows, a gig with my friend Ben Shepherd. And we're playing, I'm actually hitting the studio for a couple of days at the Parachute Studio, which I've not been to before. Well-known centre for Christian music. Not that I'm a Christian musician, but nonetheless, if that's the message, then all good. But I'll be there just as a session musician with Chris O'Connor, and I don't know who's playing bass. But Neil Watson's also playing guitar, so we've got 2 guitars on this session, which is going to be fun, you know. I don't know, I very rarely get to play with another guitar player. And I'm not really, you know, I've been thinking about what gear to take. And one of the reasons I want to take this guitar, is because I've got a gig with Ben Shepherd as well. And we're playing at Goblin in Ponsonby. And I want to be able to like do the humbuckery thing, right? You know, like I thought about taking my Strat, and part of me still possibly will. You know what I mean? But I thought about taking the Strat, but I kind of want a humbuckery thing, and because it's got to be able to do studio duty as well. This has coil taps on it, so I can go humbuckers. So it means I'll be able to get like single coil sounds and humbucker sounds, and not the best single coil sounds in the world, but they'll do. And I'm going to take that gig bag there, which is actually one of those SKB cases. It's one of those ones that's foam molded. And the cool thing about that is it's essentially like a hard case but a soft gig bag as well. And that means I'll be able to, I'm just going to chuck it in the hold. And this guitar will survive, because this has got a maple neck. It's not a mahogany neck like a Les Paul. Does sound good though. I like this sound. I think that just needs a touch more volume. It sounds like the amp is just slightly under where the other one is. Huh. Let's go -11. Something about perception too, I find with like clean tone. A lot of times with clean tone, I kind of want the clean tone a little quieter than the. Actually, I think that's pretty well balanced actually. Now the next question I have for myself for that gig and recording is what am I going to take? I'm really tempted to take the AM4. I will be using amps as well as using pedals and stuff like that. Won't be going direct. My buddy Warren Mendonza is going to loan me an amp in Auckland very kindly. He's got a custom built black panel deluxe type amp. So I'll be taking that, which will be awesome. And in the actual studio itself, I have no idea what's going to be there. I emailed the engineer today and said, you know, what amp's going to be there. I'd like some kind of Fender or something, but I could even do it with this. And part of it's like, I'm thinking if I could just turn the amp modeling off and just run this into an amp, if that's the case, but turn the amp modeling on when I need it, that would actually be really handy. It's either that or I'm going to take the VP4 and I'll take every pedal I can stuff in my suitcase. Let's try a different amp, eh? So that's the Texas Star Clean, which is by far my favorite, but I want to try one of the Fenders. Let's go 59 bass guy. Woo! That's quite a bit hotter. Still way too hot. That's the 59 bass guy, so bassman in other words. I always find these bassman emulations never quite hit it for me. Actually, that's not bad. Cheers, John. Yeah, this is a good guitar, you know. It does have neck issues, you know, it's neck heavy like that, but I moved the strap button to here, which helps. I'm still tempted, it's got a cavity in the back. I'm tempted to put a little lead weight in there, some fishing sinkers or something, and just epoxy them in or screw them in or something, and then just kind of get the balance, because the balance of this guitar is super annoying, as you can see. But it is a good guitar, for sure. Wow, that tweet Deluxe. It's okay, but I find a lot of those amps like that, they tend to kind of focus on the more pushed sound of them. And man, I'm into playing the clean tone. And that one has a lot less volume. That's the Carol and Tucana Clean. I'm guessing that's what it is. I don't tend to like Vox amps in real life, so I'm not going to like one on here. This is the ODS, so let's go -7 for that. -78, whoops, -7. Needs a bit more volume. Yeah, it's the Robin Ford amp. That needs a bit more juice. Maybe I'll give the master a bit more juice. I like that. That's a good sound. I think I like that better than the other amp. Harmonic tremolo. I've been crazy about that one right there. I need to find a better tone with that two-stone. I'm guessing that's meant to be a two-stone. Two-rock. Ooh, I like that. That's the Sir Badger 18. Sir Badger 30. Yeah, I quite like that. I think I like the 18 better. Let's go to the 18. It's a little less level though. Quite like that. So this is clean, which I've just swapped to the ODS 100 clean. It's just silly. And then the crunch is the Texas Star lead. that's cool. The tremolo is the ODS 100 clean with a gorgeous harmonic tremolo. And the lead is the Sir Badger 18. I like that. That's cool. It's got that sound of that little amp that's kind of about to die. You know, which that's a big part of that Brian May thing too, right? Like, I'm sure you'll all agree. The Brian May thing has got to be an amp that's like dying, basically. It's kind of fun, eh? Oh, thanks. Nice sound reverb. Yeah. I find a big part of like making these modelers and stuff work is kind of, you got to have a good reverb, and that's probably one of my criticisms of the Quad Cortex. Was for me the Quad Cortex, the reverb wasn't there. But I believe since I've taken the Quad Cortex back, they've done an update, and the reverbs was one of the ones. Maybe they saw my video. No. No chance that they're interested in checking out what I do. Well, you never know, but I'd say probably unlikely. Let's go to this. It's a really short reverb. I'm just going to give. So I'm now on the up setting, so both pickups are in series. I've brought my reverb down. I'm going to give the amp a little more juice because it's going to need it. Kind of wish that was a little drier. Let's go. And then I kind of want that a little brighter, so I would go probably even like 7 on that, 5 on that. I like what that treble's done to the tone. Almost. Yep, and then turn the presence up instead. So you see why this guitar, because that's the coil tap. So I'm actually using the single coils, you know. So I think that's probably why I'd want to take this guitar. Do you want to discard changes? Yes, let's go back to that. And then I'm straight back to humbuckers, you know what I mean? So how many levels of ear training are there according to your experience? I mean, ear training is kind of, to me, is what it's all about. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because so many musicians focus on scales and arpeggios and all these things, but your ability to hear things is really what that's music, right? Even, you know, like the most amazing classical soloists I've ever met, you know, people who can sight read anything, when they go and do a concert, they memorize it and then they play by ear, essentially, right? You don't see the soloists using music. They're literally in the moment, thinking about their performance and how they're going, what they're trying to say. So to me, that's like ear. So ear training, you know, there's loads of levels to it. One of the best things you can do is just learn a lot of music and learn it by ear. You know, I mean, that's one thing I've done lots, is just learned a lot of music. If you haven't liked and subscribed, do that, folks. It really does help. Please. You know, just learning songs, you know what I mean, and doing it by ear. So, you know, I mean, I was learning some songs last night, right, for this gig in Auckland I was mentioning earlier. One thing we're doing is a version of Watermelon Man, right? So I got the chart, and I had a look at it, but really what I was trying to do was commit it to memory, and then I listened to the recording. You know, it has this... this bit, you know, the thing, but the chord's sort of built around D flat major instead of right, and then it goes B flat. So I was using my ear to figure that out, right? You know. How I was going to play that, right? So your ear, like I was using my ear to do that. I've done a lot of work on like hearing intervals and being able to do those. Think of that as being a fifth, right? So when I sing a fifth in New Zealand, there's a song called Pokari-Kariana. Right, that's what I think of for a sixth. A second is happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, right? A third, I try and sing a triad. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, right? An octave. Well, that's obvious, right? And with the seventh, I just try and hear, is it one below an octave? Right? Flat fifth, I think of The Simpsons. The Simpsons, right? And so I have these little tunes for how to hear those intervals. And I had a lot of work on those when I was younger. There are programs you can get. There's probably apps on your iPhone now. I haven't used those, but I'm sure there are. But the harder ones are hearing the interval in reverse. So going from a note up to another note is easier to hear than, say, if I went... to identify that. And sometimes your ear can play sort of tricks on you. You can think, oh, well, that's a... instead of thinking it's a third, you can hear it. Yeah, it's something you got to practice. And then being able to hear chords, right? Like, because a chord like this can be really deceiving. Would you say it's a minor chord? It is. It's D minor 11, right? But I played no third, right? The other way you could think about that chord is C over D, right? And when you think about that, well, if you hear the triad on top, you could be fooled into thinking that was major, right? So there's all that kind of stuff you got to train your ear to hear. So I think ear training is incredibly important. It's the best thing you can do. Work on your ear. It's what you hear. And I say that as someone who does a lot of sight reading gigs. That's what I do. I'm a session musician. That's what my work is, you know. Yeah. Anyway, so John asked, what program systems are you using? So I'm running through the Fractal AM4 right at the moment, right here. I can't really bring it any closer to get it in shot because I've only got a short XLR and a XLR to jack. And I keep forgetting to just plug another one in between. Because that's a beautiful thing with XLR, you can just extend it and it's fine. So comment here says, training the ear requires an in-depth knowledge of the harmonic field and especially associating repertoire with harmonic progressions. Having a repertoire is the fundamental part of your training. I think that's true for sure, but I think that you can there's different levels to it, like, right, which was part of the question. And I think that when it comes to your ear, you can approach it in terms of like trying to make it theoretical point of view. But there's also other ways to train your ear, for example, which is being able to hear what you play on the instrument, right? Which is all part of ear training too, right? So just even something like singing along while you play. And I'm definitely not a singer, but it's sort of one of those things that you can do to train your ear to be able to hear what you're actually playing on the instrument. Because so often with guitar, we can just put our fingers on a note. Same with piano. Piano, you can go dip, and out comes the sound. You don't have to have heard that in your head before you play it. Whereas on guitar, it's like we have to hear what, really, we should be hearing what we're playing, right? So that can be a part of ear training as well, too. So, and that you don't need any theory for that. And there's definitely no downside to learning theory. I've heard people say crap like, oh, if I learn theory, it's like my creativity's going to go, or... No. Yeah, George Benson, right? Like, I mean, Benson just kind of probably worked on that in his practice and then just decided to just keep lean into the mic when he does it, right? Oh yeah, and I meant to say with that Watermelon Man, has this. Started working on that, right? Right, all happens over this section. Right, and then the B section of the song is actually an arrangement written by Xavier Dominique. It goes to F. Cool sound, isn't it? Like, it's awesome. There's a bunch of other tunes. I'll just chip away at them, Got some other songs to learn for some organ trio gigs with Miles and Mike, which I'm really looking forward to. No, those guys are great. Sound really good. What's your favorite music, Master? My favorite music, I like improvised music. That's where the music that most inspires me. So, and I think for me, I still associate that with jazz, although I don't think it's exclusive to jazz. I think that jazz and blues as well can be just as much improvised music, and jazz can also be stuff where people just play things that they've already learned and they're not really trying to improvise, and it's just bland. We've heard that. And we've heard that in the blues too, where people play just bland and they're not really improvising. But on the highest level of these music, people are really improvising. So I think that for me, is my favorite music is it's got some mixture of jazz and blues and funk and soul music and all those things, and elements of rock, and so fusion stuff, really. My favorite kind of guitar tone is this sort of thing, but with everything back to how it was before. breakup. To me, it's kind of like it's a very expressive kind of sound, because I can get. I'm playing really light there. So that kind of lighter tone, and it's essentially clean, but then. Oh man, yeah, I sure do. Antonio Carlos Jobim. Yeah, I know. Let's mute that. I'm just going to tune. This guitar has 11 to 49 elixirs, which is pretty much what I use on most of my guitars. Except for the Strat, I play 10s on that. And it's not that I couldn't play it with 11s, it's just, I think that guitar... Oh, and the Paul Reed Smith DGT has 10s. I think for me, those guitars really speak best with 10s. It brings, the 10s are a little brighter. The other thing I find too is with lighter strings, I can't hit as hard, right? And so it forces me to play a different kind of way, you know what I mean? Great tune. Yeah, and the Girl from Ipanema too, you know. But those bossa novas, I can play bossa nova all night and never get bored of it, you know what I mean? It's just beautiful stuff. The thing I find with the Girl from Ipanema is everybody plays it in the wrong key. You know, which is fine, but to me that's not the best key for that song. Astrid Gilberto sang it in D flat. To me, I mean, I know Stan Getz did it, modulated up to F at the solo, and a lot of people record it in F. To me, it always sounds better in D flat. I think it sounds better in that key. Do you play any blues, funk, soul gigs with the band in Auckland? I'm up in Auckland on March 25th. I'll be playing March 25th. I'm playing a concert with Benjamin Shepherd, Adam Tobeck. I think the piano player is Rory Johns. Is that his name? I haven't met him before. I don't know him, but Ben tells me he's badass. So it's going to be fun. And we'll be playing funky fusion stuff. So that's March 25th. I think it's 8 p.m. at a place called Goblin in Ponsonby. So come along, John, if you're in town. It'd be great. I'm going to take this guitar up. I'm just working out what gear I'm going to take to be able to do that. But it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Those guys are badass. And we'll be doing that version of Watermelon Man, and we'll be getting into some funky groovy kind of stuff, and there'll be big long solos, and everyone will be stretching out, and Ben will be melting people's faces because that's what he does. He's a beast of a player, you know. They all are, so... and then I'm going to hang around in Auckland, and I'll be up there till Sunday. I got to come back at midday on Sunday for a gig in Wellington. But I've got a couple of days off in Auckland, so if anyone wants a guitar lesson, let me know while I'm up there. You know, I can. I don't know where I'm going to stay yet. I'm going to figure out a hotel, but I'll be staying probably central Auckland. I was watching this thing of Mateus Mancuso. You guys probably know him. Italian guitar virtuoso. Plays fingerstyle. And he was talking about how he works on his playing to, been working on his playing to not pick every note. Right? Sounds very different from. So I kind of been thinking about that a lot too. I've always been a big fan of like that legato style playing. Instead of picking every note. Yeah, he does have amazing fingerstyle, doesn't he? The thing with him is that he can play fast, but that's not the bit that I find most interesting about his playing. For me, it's like the note choices. You know, he plays some really interesting notes, and he's definitely got a lot of jazz vocabulary. I like his playing. Yeah, John. So I hope you can make March 25th. I'm also, if anyone's near the Tauranga region, I'll be playing 3 gigs in Tauranga for the Jazz Festival. But the big one, and you guys, if you're anywhere near Tauranga, come to this. I'll be playing the Saturday night at the Bay Court with my band. It's my show, and it's going to be so much fun. I've got the double drum band. I'm going to do an organ trio to start with Mark Lockett. Got my buddy Mike Crawford coming from Australia for the gig. I've got Stan Bignell and Darren Mathiasen, so 2 badass drummers, you know what I mean. And then the first set will be Mark Lockett playing drums, who's a great jazz bebop drummer, and then Mike will be playing organ. And then on the Friday of Tauranga, I'll be playing with Benjamin Shepherd. We'll be doing similar show to what we're doing at Goblin, but with his lovely wife will be singing, Tara, and she's amazing. Kiwi audiences haven't heard her yet, so they don't know what they're in for yet. She's going to be great. But Tara will be joining us, and we'll be doing some of the instrumental stuff that we're doing at Goblin in Auckland, but we're going to stretch out on some other tunes too, and it should be good. And then on the Sunday, I'm playing with Bryn Van Vliet, and I think we're doing like a funky kind of thing. It's some originals, James Brown type stuff, so that'll be fun. So that's the coil tap. I'm not a huge fan of coil taps. They don't really work. And also you lose volume. What I do find with coil taps though, especially in the series, what sounds acoustic guitar like. Opposed to. Buddy of mine used to always go. It's so uncomfortable. So yeah, spread the word. Those are the gigs in the next couple of weeks. We're playing Romantic Social Club with the organ thing. I'm playing this Saturday at where are we playing Saturday? The Rogue and Vagabond in Wellington. So if people in Wellington come out to the Rogue, it'll be a lot of fun. So Rogue and Vagabond on this weekend. Then Auckland, middle of March, and I'll actually be up in Auckland. I'm doing a record on the Saturday and the Sunday, and then we're playing Undercurrent when I get back, and then Tauranga Jazz Festival, and a bunch of other things in between. I've got some Matt Enright gigs where we're playing like early jazz, early swing stuff. Acoustic sounds similar. Remember Beatles? I'm not sure what you mean. Maybe it's not translating on YouTube. YouTube's a funny thing, with the compression that you get on there. I just noticed that I put in the hashtags fusion guitar, funk bass, and guitar solo. Dull. Should have changed those. I was having a few issues with the beginning of this stream. It wasn't. There was a weird echo going, so I restarted my computer, and then still seemed to be there. But then I closed OBS again. You know, it obviously closed when I restarted the computer, and now it seems fine. delays are cool. It's kind of going between the two sides of the headphones. Yeah, so there's a little bit of come together. Should play that note in tune. Yeah, so there's a little bit of Still Got the Blues. And I can't handle out of tune guitar, so I'm going to tune up real quick. It's one thing that happens with all these sorts of guitars with this style headstock is the D and the G. This is better because it's a little thinner, it's not like the Gibson one, but it's still... Who knew that a Sir Badger could kind of sing like that, right? That's cool. I was just mucking around with that amp. And I realized I was actually in the coil tap position. It wasn't even the humbuckers. A copyright strike for all this. Yeah, like I said, this one thing with this guitar is it does that. It's like the point of balance is wrong. It joiners here. It probably should be a little bit further along. I might just see if I can put a little bit of extra weight in the body somehow. Love Stone Temple Pilots. And then this one, C over E. Who does that in a distorted rock song in an E flat major 7? And even this, that chord, it's like G diminished over D. Yeah, I guess. A minor 7 over D. Right? So this guitar, I've done a little bit to it. I replaced the nut. It has a, they come with a plastic nut. Don't dig the plastic, you know what I mean? So I've replaced the nut. I had the frets all just, you know, brushed over, I guess, whatever they do, you know, to make them all polished. There you go, fret polished. That's actually a replacement pickup. Oh, there goes my pick. Where'd it go? Right there. Cheapest. That's a replacement pickup. It's a Mr. Glenn Integrity -5, so slightly underwound PAF style pickup, and that's the original, and that made a big difference because this guitar was very muddy in the neck position for some reason. Now it's nice and articulate. Watching this interview today with Pat Metheny, man, I love Pat Metheny's playing. You know, he's such a musical guy, and his whole dedication to it. And there was something he said that kind of resonated with me. And he was saying about how when he writes songs, you know, and Pat's written some real bangers. You know what I mean? He about 3 out of every 10. Are good, and the rest are just junk, he said. And his way of deciphering it, what he does is he sets up a loop or something, and he just plays over the thing for he'll put the thing on for a while and just play over this loop of the thing that he's writing. And then he said if he can last through 4 hours of playing over that loop, he says it drives his family nuts. But by the end of the 4 hours, he knows if it's something he wants to continue with or not. I thought, wow, that's pretty dedicated. Do you know what I mean? And so he was like, yeah, he was all about that. And that 4 hour thing, he said most of the time he gets 15-20 minutes, and he's like, no, this idea's not going to go anywhere, and I don't really want to play this on tour for 2 years and all the rest of it. So he that's why he kind of works through them. So do you have some sounds from the 1920s? Not really. I'm not really set up for it. This is more like a 335. It's you know, the thin body guitar. I mean, I do, but I don't have it set up right at the moment. See, it just doesn't sound. So it doesn't really do a jazz sound that well. I mean, it does to some degree, but not. I wouldn't be my preference for that kind of tone. I don't really play 20s music that much, to be perfectly honest with you. I like a lot of the music I play is really probably from the 50s onwards. Do you know what I mean? Like 50s. I don't play a lot of very modern music right now. Like I don't play a lot of contemporary music, you know, like Taylor Swift's or things like that. Occasionally I'll be on a gig and someone will call something or whatever, and I won't know it, you know. I don't really listen to a lot of that stuff. I mean, I do, but I don't put any energy into it. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll hear Taylor Swift in passing, and I occasionally check out her music just to see what's going on, and then that's it. I'm not going to spend any time listening to it. Why would I listen to something I don't really have a lot of interest in? Just because I feel like I have to? It's not a good enough reason. So a lot of music that's around now, I'm not really listening to much of it. But Pat Metheny's got a new album coming out soon, so I was like, well, I'm going to be for sure listening to that. So when people say there's no good music around now, I'm kind of like, that's not the case at all. Maybe in the pop world, maybe, but Pat Metheny's new album, Side Eye, I think it's called, that's going to be badass. I just know it. Like, I haven't heard it, and I already know it's going to be badass because it's Pat Metheny, right? So people like Pat Metheny, John Schofield, they're still putting out music, you know. There's lots of stuff. That trio with Larry Goldings and Peter Bernstein will still be putting out music, I'm sure, going into the future. John Mayer's doing some stuff that'll probably be pretty good. Whether you like him or not, you know, that's a personal preference, but, you know, he does some stuff. Joe Bonamassa, if that's what you're into. I know Chris Kane's always putting out new albums, and that guy's as badass as it comes, you know. For blues guitar, it doesn't get any better than that. in my opinion. So when people say there's no good music around now, I don't think that's true. It's just like, you know, the stuff you see most present. So yeah, I don't really listen to a lot of that, and I don't really listen to a lot of like 1920s kind of, or 30s or 40s. Most of the stuff for me is really 50s to 2000s, probably is about where I stop, you know. And I really like a lot of the rock stuff that was around in the 2000s, Soundgarden to Stone Temple Pilots. Oh, cheers, Teresa. Teresa. I think it's Teresa. I'm sorry, I'm struggling to read that that size font. You know, I love that stuff. And a lot of that music was really quite powerful. You know what I mean? Like, who puts chords like that in a rock song? You know, this. C sharp minor, A flat over C, D flat over B. You know what I mean? B minor 7 flat 5. DeLeo brothers, yeah, they are, aren't they? Especially Robert DeLeo, the bass player. I believe he wrote most of that stuff too. But yeah, the guitar player brother, is it Dave DeLeo? Yeah, so it's sort of, I like a lot of that stuff too, you know, there's a lot of that music. I like bands, you might be surprised, I like bands like Tool, and I like Metallica. I liked Metallica. I don't know a lot of what Metallica does now, but there was some Metallica stuff that I really liked. Guns N' Roses. Dean DeLeo, that's right, yeah, I think you're right. Thank you. You know, Guns N' Roses. Just get the right sound. See right there. Rage Against the Machine. Now there's a band I like. Definitely. It's got too much gain for me. I'm gonna bring that back quite a bit. Go with that. How does it go? Yeah, that was actually done with a fifth harmony. I haven't played that in so long. It is nice to have a hardtail guitar and not have to worry about tuning up. says, I was listening to some Japanese pop rock and man, the guitars don't sound humanly possible. Yeah, there's a lot of that around, I'm afraid, where people are playing stuff that literally isn't humanly possible. And you sort of go, it's just lame. In my opinion, you know. Like, if you can't play it, then why are you putting it out there? You know, I mean, you're hearing heaps of people now starting to try and call out a lot of those players. And those people doing that are kind of doing that half the time to try and make themselves famous, right? Like, oh, look at me, the big calling out this person, you know. But, you know, back in my day, we didn't call out people, you know, like, unless they'd done something really lousy, but just for faking guitar or whatever, you know, it's like, you know, but I don't like it. Best way of recreating the intro to Know Your Enemy, I currently use the slicer with the Boss Katana and get away with it. Yeah, it's an octave. No, not an octave. It's a fifth harmony and a whammy pedal. So when you get this note, you get... And then I think he does with the two volumes, one volume on, one volume off. It's kind of toggling between it. And I've always gone... Doesn't really sound like it, but it's sort of a good fun kind of exercise to do to... Yeah, but you're right. If you had a slicer would work, or if you had two volume controls like a Les Paul, you know, this has only got one volume, one tone, which I prefer, for sure. But if you had like a Les Paul with two controls, you could turn one on and off. Or a kill switch, you know, kill switch is another way of doing it. But yeah, I think it's the fifth thing, really, is what it is. And playing them short, because it's kind of easy to go, but it doesn't sound the same as going. I need to work on that one. It's kind of more probably bridge pickup too. No worries. See what I mean? It almost sounds like an acoustic guitar like that, right? Kiwis will know who that song is. That's Welcome Home by Dave Dobbin. I actually played a gig with Dave Dobbin once in Nelson. We played the Opera in the Park. Get that, Dave Dobbin playing an opera gig, because it's not opera, right? It's they call it Opera in the Park, I think, to keep the scallywags away. It's really just a rock concert. It's like jazz festivals, you know, they call it a jazz festival and then don't have jazz at it. I love it. It's all good. But got to play that with the man himself. Something like that, a guitar part like that seems really easy, you know, it is, like, technically. those kind of guitar parts, they're easy to play, but the thing with them is they're not easy to play well. And they're not easy to play with the right sound. And they're not easy to play with the right feel. And they're not easy to play with the right balance with the band, you know, where you're not overpowering anyone and all those sorts of factors. Once you start sort of adding all those things in, you start to realize just how hard it is to do those things well. And I see that so often, that people dismiss things as simple when really they're not. Loud on that, aren't I? Yeah. Let's go -5. Such a pretty song. Yeah, I like this guitar. I just need to sort out the balance thing a little more. It's difficult to make a guitar sound good together with an orchestra. Really? I don't find that to be the case at all. I play with orchestras all the time. Actually, I do probably about 10 gigs a year with with different orchestras. In Wellington here, the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra. Although I didn't do any gigs with them last year, they didn't do any pop stuff or stuff with the guitar. But generally I do, and actually guitar works really well in an orchestra, especially like a lot of times when I do orchestra stuff, they want this kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like that really singing kind of tone that soars above the orchestra. Get that quite a bit. A lot of times they want me to play parts, you know, there's like parts of songs to be played and stuff like that. But yeah, I do a lot of stuff with that. And, you know, sometimes nylon string guitar, actually quite a bit of nylon string guitar. And when I say nylon string guitar, I don't necessarily mean classical guitar. It might be playing nylon string, but playing like a very simple kind of melody. The hardest thing with that stuff, in playing nylon string in an orchestra, or nylon string in any group, is one, trying to amplify yourself, because you know you need to have some kind of amplification. And with nylon string guitar, as soon as you amplify it, it just loses the whole thing, becomes something else. You know, acoustic guitars in general, nylon string, steel string, whichever. They kind of lose the thing when you amplify them. The amps never really sound right. The pickups never really sound right. The best sound is with a microphone pointed at the 12th fret and about that kind of far away, or even a little bit further if you can get away with it. But even then, that's impossible on a gig, right? You can't do that. So you're going to get feedback. You're going to have issues. So I find like the biggest thing with acoustic guitar is the amplifying, right? And then, you know, when you're playing with orchestras, they're loud. Like the loudest gigs I do ever are playing with orchestras. And I know that's surprising. On New Year's Eve, I remember talking to one of the cellists, because we had a small orchestra, and I said that to her. I said that, you know, the loudest gigs I do are playing with orchestras. She said, really? She said, what about the amplified gigs? I had to think for a second what she meant by amplified gigs was like rock bands or stuff. I'm like, no, like orchestras are louder, right? Like significantly. And it's just a numbers game, right? When you have, like, if you have 3 people in a room talking, it's not too bad. You put 100 people in a room and all of a sudden it becomes a cacophony of sound. Well, the same thing happens with musicians. The more musicians you get, the bigger and louder and broader it gets. This was exciting about orchestra. But it also means it just gets really loud sometimes, you know. When you get all the percussion and brass going and it's like big, powerful parts in the songs, you know, can get pretty loud. You know, and then so nylon string guitar. Yeah. I actually have one of those Yamaha silent guitars, the ones that have no body to them, for that exact reason, because if it's going to get really loud, then I'll just play that, because then you'd have to worry about feedback or whatever. So I have to go in a moment, folks. I just thought I'd jump on here. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. I know everybody asks you to, but it's one of those things that really helps with the channel, you know what I mean? Everybody's doing this, is trying to grow their channel because they want to share what the shit you're talking about, you know what I mean? With people who are into the same stuff. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to put a treble bleed on this though, I think. This is becoming quite muddy. Yeah, this guitar, no, it's not too bad. It's not too bad with the Strat. I got to figure out a solution for it. So I think I am going to put a triple bleed on there tomorrow. I have a cap lying around that I can throw on there. I find triple bleeds really make a big difference. In fact, I'm going to swap guitars for exactly that reason and show you. Come on. Ugh. Oh man, we're better late than never, eh? So there's the treble bleed, right? I turned down. It's still usable. And I know some people say, oh, I like the darkness of turning down and getting it a bit darker. You want it darker, that's what your tone control's for. Guitar does sound different than that other guitar though. It's got lower output pickups, I think. That's part of it. And different kind of, you can hear. significantly louder acoustic than that of the guitar, which changes the sound, right? Oops. But yeah, the treble blade. Do I have some compositions? Yeah, linked in all of my videos is my latest record, which I did in Los Angeles with Benjamin Shepherd, and that's right, that's why I don't use these strap locks so much. Don't like this one. Yeah, you can get it. It's on Bandcamp. It's free. The link is below. Go and grab yourself a copy and have a listen. And it's an album called Reamped. It's on Bandcamp. It's free. It's all originals. We got together in the studio. I was in California anyway because we played the Monterey Jazz Festival and the Roger Fox Big Band, and then we headed down to Los Angeles to do some recording at United Studios, famous studio where Michael Jackson recorded in Ray Charles and everybody, you know, I mean, kind of a very famous studio. And while I was there, I jumped in the studio with Ben and Dylan, and we recorded the Reamped album, which you can get for free. It's on Bandcamp. It's linked below. So I'm really proud of that album. Do I have a copy here to show you? Actually, I do. Yeah, I do. Got one right there. And those are the boys with Gary Novak, who engineered the album. Gary's a badass, you know. You guys probably know who he is. Maybe you don't. Novak is one of the great drummers, without a question. One of the world's great drummers, in my opinion. If you haven't checked out Michael Landau, he plays on a lot of that stuff. He was with Alanis Morissette, Chick Corea, George Benson, Alan Holdsworth. The dude played with everybody. So he engineered the album for us, so that was great. This guitar definitely sounds darker. Interesting. Of course, you can always tap it to make it brighter. Hey, I'm gonna have to go in a second, people. Thank you so much for joining me. I just thought I'd jump on here with live streams. In general, I don't plan them. I did that for a while where I said every Monday I'm gonna do a live stream or whatever, and it just got too routine feeling. So now I just kind of jump on when I feel inspired, like if I've got something I want to share with you all. I usually leave these up on my channel, and if people get something from it, that's cool. But it's more just like a chance to jump on here and have a bit of a chat, play some music, and I really enjoy live streams. I enjoy it because to me it's feels like a direct connection, being able to answer your questions and what have you. So thank you so much for joining me. Otherwise, I've got some new videos coming soon. Yeah. Usual stuff, usual pointer thing. I got some good gigs coming up. I got some footage of recent gigs, so I'll probably upload some of that too, which I usually take on this. I'll upload some of that, and hopefully you'll dig. Alright, hey, take care, people. See you soon.